Welcome to the study prep, guys. Econ, this will be a full course on economics. Welcome back to the study prep, guys. Csec or the study prep, guys, chill zone. And today we'll be looking at an introductory class into Econ. Without further ado, let's start. So, first of all, what is economics? So, economics is a social science that deals with the study of consumer decisions. So there are three basic questions that come to mind with the inferral of the basic economical questions are what to produce, for whom to produce, and how many. These are the three fundamental questions that shape the economical landscape in any economy in the world. So there's something called the traditional economy that we usually in for too. In a traditional economy, the owners of the factory production are the private and public sectors. Private sectors are usually owned by private individuals, while public sectors incentives are owned by government personnel, and the government in itself. The government usually implements certain bilateral incentives such as quotas and CET, common external tariffs. So the factors of production, the three main factors of production include land, labor, and capital. So land, this is in direct referral to the physical landscape utilized in the production process. The factor reward for land is rent. And labor, this refers to the skills and attributions of persons that drive the production process. The factor reward for labor is wages. Then we have capital. Capital refers to just machinery or things that the business owns, and the factor of reward for capital is interest. And guys, this is a very short video. Subscribe, hit notification bell. See you guys.
Watch my knife and let me just go bang. Why not a dang? Why not a dang? Watch my knife and let me just go bang. Why not a dang? Why not a dang? Player haters, masturbators, bitches all up in my shit. Living scared, you know you did. Walking around with a crib full of niggas. Bitch boy tried to take my shit. Fucking with the wrist on kick. MAGNOLIA, that is why your ass was a
What is up, chat? What is up, chat? How are you today? Sure, everything's alright with you guys there. Hello, chat. How is everyone today? CSEC preparation for Econ on the way for tonight's stream. Welcome, guys. Welcome again. Welcome back. Good news, guys. I have recently heard of a lot of alterations as relates to the channel. I believe we are about to reach 500 subscribers on our main channel. That's like very positive news right now. Very positive news. Today we're trying to work the 2025 May June documents. So welcome again, chat. Welcome again, chat. Where are you today? How is everyone out there? Everyone ready? Let me just wait for the chat to load. I'll just put on like a bit more. Hopefully you're enjoying. We're just waiting for a few more members to join. The chat. So I just said before, we're working May June for this video. Paper 2. This is the recent year. I will try to get the 2025 documents tomorrow later today, but for now we'll focus on that. How's everyone doing? How's the chat? How is everyone? Type in the chat below where you're from, guys. Don't be afraid. We have at least a week more before the CSEC Econ, so I'm trying to make this video early so you guys could have some time to prepare over the weekend. So guys, how is everyone doing? Is everyone okay? Everyone all right? Just waiting for the chat to load. Make sure everyone is all right. Everyone is in attendance. I really wanted to do a live stream yesterday, but due to a lot of personal reasons, it was not made possible. Anyways, guys, I'll start. Let's wait at least 10 more minutes, and then I'll see if anyone is coming in the chat, and then we'll start. But personally, guys, I'm trying to work. Let's do a marathon and see if we could work from the year 2020 to 2025 January, if that's possible. In accordance with that chat. All right, guys. I'll wait a couple minutes for you. I'll wait at least 10 more minutes, and then we'll start. If you see this here, you could send it to your friends. I will be going live again later tonight in preparation of the Econ. Other live streams will include chemistry. Other live streams will be inclusive of chemistry. Guys, tell me what paper and tell me what concepts that you think you need to do a little bit of revision on. We bring this up on screen here. All right, let me see something quick here. So hopefully you guys can see with that right there. We're going to sort for some econ revision materials to create a little bit of let's see this one. So we'll use this. We'll use this for a moment. This is the paper 2 booklet. I believe this is for everything. And no, this is not it, guys. This is not it. This is not it. Anyways, let's start working because I'm still waiting for the chat to load. Still waiting for the chat to load. So can you hear me, guys? Is everything all right with the audio? Is everything in all right in relation to that? Hopefully so. I will try to make this stream as long as I will not overdo the time, but we do have a lot of things to look. Let's open the syllabus sheet. So let's open up the syllabus. Let's open the syllabus paper. So let's see what's on here. So let's do a general revision, guys. We're doing a general one for chemistry. So hopefully you guys stay. So we are doing a bit of revision. This stream will start up with revision. We gain from the stream. We will look at everything else. We will work it when I for paper. So let's look at the sections. So suggested teaching and learning activities. So section 1 is the nature of economics, and this is inclusive of the economic problem. This is inclusive of the economic problem. So section 2 is about the production, economic and resources and resource allocation, markets and prices. There are different types of markets. We will be discussing that on this stream. We will be discussing markets on the stream. Topics such as markets and prices, the financial sector, economical management, policies and goals, international trade and relations, Caribbean economies in global markets. All the major selections for topics in cord for economics. I believe that this video here will get a good allocation of followers within probably going on to the last days. But for you guys who are staying in tune, who are writing economics for now, I really do appreciate your time. So we're doing a general revision of the Csec syllabus in this stream. We're looking at the financial sector, economies management, and policies and goals, international trade and relations, and section 7, which is the Caribbean economies in a global environment. That is talking about the global market as a whole. That's in public relations to economies outside of our own. If you are living within And you guys could type in the chat where you are right now. Type in the chat, guys, where you are. Jamaica. I know a lot of my viewers are from Jamaica. A lot of you guys are from Jamaica. Big shout out to Jamaica. I have a couple of Trinidadians, but Jamaicans, you guys out there, I really thank you for the support. Big shout out to you guys. So where are you tonight? Where are you tonight? So let me wait until the chat could load up a bit so that we could start actually go through before we could actually start it. Let me just put this down. The exam will be 2 hours. The exam will be 2 hours for the paper two. The paper one will consist of 1 hours and 50 minutes. So there's a big difference in the time allocation there. Waiting for the chat still. So let's keep on moving, guys. So we're looking at the mark allocation of profiles now. We're just looking at the mark allocation. Let's look at the paper two because that's where we're mainly focusing on comprehension and knowledge. That will be toward the 4 marks, interpretation analysis, 40 marks, application 26. So the overall mark scheme is out of 100. The overall mark scheme for this is out of 100. Now let's actually go into section one, which is the nature of businesses, and let's go into the definitive definitions that we need to go through. Alright, guys, we are in no rush. We are in no rush. We have time. We have some time to do some general revisions. Let's start. I believe we're going on to the 10 minutes mark. We are going on to the 10 minutes mark. Yes, we are on the 10 minutes mark. So let's start. So the first section is economics or economics. Economics is a social science that deals with the study of or of consumer decisions that occur in the life. You need to understand what is meant by the term economy. Let me just put up my notes here so you could take some very important notes. Make sure this thing is up good. All right, good. I got it up here. So let me just change the screen setting and let's actually start this. So as I said before, we're actually going into the documentation for the mark allocation, and we're just going through a general revision of the econ for this year. Let's start. So notes. What is economics? Economics is a social science that deals with the study of consumer decisions. So when we hear the term economics, we're looking at the first portfolio, which is the introduction or the nature of economics. I did do a last video on the nature of business. That's on my another channel, Study Prep Guys Business. I will post a link to it down in the description below. But economics is a social science that deals with the study of consumer decisions. I will have to open back the chat in the next 20 minutes or something like that. The chat will I can't read your chat right now, guys. I will have to read it in the next couple of minutes. So I'll answer any questions, any thoughts. The chat will be open in the next couple of minutes. Let me just put on different music. Play some relaxing music. Is it says define what is meant by the term economy. The term economy refers to the overall health of a country. This could include the amount of resources. This could refer to the amount of resources that a country has. So yes, we have those 2 points right out of the way. What is economics and what is an economy? So there's a big difference between economics and economy. When we're talking about our economics, we're referring to the country as a whole in general. But it's very different when we take into account um, what is economics. Let me just expand this thing a bit. It's very, very small right now for the moment. I will do a complete video with the notes on a part and another date but for the moment, we're just going through some of the main points, and I will make a separate video on all the terms that are needed for economics for CSEC 2025 May June. So the nature of economics, let me just put that in all bold. The nature of economics. That's what we're looking at tonight, guys. I'll just close out the video on the nature of economics for now because it has a lot of different things that we need to go through. We're just going through some introductory concepts and stuff that you need to at least answer section 1 because there are different sections. These are the main sectors in an economy. There are 2 major sectors. Let me just put that down. This is just a note. I just put this in NP so you guys could take this down as some personal note. There are 2 major sectors in an economy. That is inclusive of the public and private sectors. So there are two major sectors in an economy. That is private sectors. Public sectors are individuals. No, public sectors are owned by government officials, while private sectors are owned and controlled by private individuals. So there's a big difference in that regard. I'm going to open the chat. If anyone's in the chat, I'm going to open it so I could see your thoughts, your comments. Let me open up the chat now. No one is in the chat for the moment. So let's go back to our initials. So list the main sectors in economy. We did highlight that main sectors in economy are public and private sectors. Explain the concept of scarcity and choice within the economy. Scarcity is referral to limited resources comparable to unlimited wants. Let me just put that up there. Scarcity. I just put that in a bulletin point. Scarcity is the referral or referral to unlimited wants, to limited goods versus unlimited wants. So scarcity is a very important point to take into account because we don't have infinite resources. Resources are limited, and as a result, the problem of scarcity comes into mind. So scarcity affects choice in that regard because we have limited goods versus or vice versa, unlimited wants. right? Let's look at define the term opportunity cost and money cost. I don't think I need to put this thing in bold anymore. Just saying this thing. I'll just put it right here. Opportunity cost, opportunity cost versus money cost. Let's look at the definition in it. Let's just take a look at the definition. Refers to actual cash or credit expenses incurred during business operations, such as rent and wages. Um, and it says money cost, an explicit cost that requires a direct outlay of money, while opportunity cost is an implicit cost that reflects the value of the next best alternative that is foregone. So let's see. So let's put this thing not in our notes. Let's go back to the syllabus documentation. So money cost, let me just put that down. Don't have to put it in bold. Money cost. Money cost is the expense incurred for actual purchases, while opportunity cost is the next alternative foregone. So yes, we have those two outlined there. This is on the nature of business. Money cost is the literal expense incurred for a purchase. It could be in the process of operations, and you know, guys, when you're doing a business, and we are doing operations, that will be expenses, and that will be actual purchases. However, opportunity cost is like when a choice is made, opportunity cost is prevalent. If you were to buy, like for example, a bag of groceries, or you're deciding to buy between water and drink, and you buy water, the opportunity cost in that case would be the drink, because that was the next best alternative in that instance. So we did look at a little bit on the what opportunity cost is and what money cost is. So we have those two out of the way. Um, this is not looking good. I don't like how this circle is, honestly. Let's actually go back to that. We stated opportunity cost, money cost, the difference between it. Illustrate opportunity cost and efficiency using production possibility frontier. Let's look at opportunity cost using the production possibility frontier. I can't do that right now because I don't have the materials to do a draw up. Honestly, guys, if I did have that, I would use it, but that's not the instance for now. Opportunity cost on a PPF. That was the production possibility frontier. Let us pull that up right now. I'll open this up full screen. Let me just open this up full screen. View full image. So if you could see here, this is the production possibility frontier. And if we look at good X, we have 90, 40, and good Y. So this is the general viewage of the production possibility frontier. And the production possibility frontier is basically a comparison, or the total combinations that could incur between two goods. So we have good X and we have good Y. So if you look at points A and point B, that's what we call efficiency points, right? We call that efficiency points. In the chart, or in the diagram, or in here, if you could see right here where my mouse is, if you could see right here where my mouse is, pay close attention. That is the ineffective or inefficiency of resources. That could also mean that within the diagram, that would be referral to the opportunity cost, because it's the next best alternative. Let's actually utilize a better example I would like to see now. Let me just pull this up and let us actually just view the full image. So from the image, we have guns. Guns, we have 12,000, 1,000. And this is quality. We have the two goods in core right here. Now we have a core of PBF or core of PBF. And there's different types of production possibility frontier. We'll look into that. Right, guys? We'll look into that. So H means our opportunity cost changes from point to point. From point A to C, negative 700 guns to plus da 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 da. So this is a better example of the opportunity cost, which point A, C, and B. And as I said before, once you could see something is on a point, that means that the good is being effectively utilized, meaning that we are not overutilizing the good, it is on point. Right? Let's go into another, probably a better example. So this is a constant opportunity cost. So that what we look at is a core of opportunity cost, and this is a constant opportunity cost, or that what we were looking at was effective opportunity cost, right? This is a constant opportunity cost, and we have produced 5 missiles, you have to give up 500 guns. As you could see here, to produce 5 missiles, you need to give up 500 guns. This is why the PPF is straight. So this is a constant opportunity cost, and as I said before, there are different production possibility frontiers. Let's look at another example. We're just looking through some examples so we could get. How is everyone shot? Enjoying so far. And I don't believe this one is very weird. I don't believe it's even drawn accurately. See another one, something that is better. All right, good. Now I have this is the perfect image, guys. We found the perfect image. This is a perfect image. So the opportunity of gods employ more resources into cotton production is expressed in terms of output we've given up. As I said before, in the diagram, that is the opportunity cost. We have the opportunity cost. We have the two products of wheat and cotton. So 100 extra tons of cotton involves sacrificing 40 tons of wheat. The opportunity cost is 4 to 10ths of a ton of wheat for extra ton of cotton. So this is a better example. Hopefully everyone is with me. So hopefully from that you understand the opportunity cost. I will post a video after this one on opportunity costs. I will post a chart to it up there. You could see right there. It will show up there. So let's move on. So we did look at opportunity cost, efficiency used in the production possibility frontier. List the main influences on individuals in making economical decisions. It says the main influence, let's highlight that term, on decisions. We have something called the basic economical questions. Let me just put that down. Let me put that in bold because I believe this is very important. I'll put this in all things. Basic economical questions. Economical questions of what to produce, for whom to produce, and how many. So this is basically the three fundamental questions. It's to economical questions and who are the influencers of the production process. So as it says here in the question, if you could go right here, it says list the main influences on forms in making economical decisions. It says this the main influence on individuals in making economical decisions. So whenever we're going to make economical decisions, we have something called the three basic economical questions of what to produce, for whom to produce, and for how many to produce. So those are the basic economical questions. So we did look at opportunity costs versus money cost, scarcity. We did look at the sectors of an economy. We did look at what economy is and what economical is. And we did look at the different opportunity costs, such as the constant opportunity cost and the efficient opportunity cost. So chat, how are we on the right track? Or what the hell am I saying? Are we on the right track? So hopefully everything is understandable. Everything is understandable, guys. Let me just take this imagery. I believe this image is very important, so I could write here for future referencing. I can't post this here. Kind of save it or something. Save image. Just put that right in here on this sticky notes quick. So you guys could have a literal. I will post. I will have to probably put in the documents. See, let me see. That's quite big. Anyways, we'll come back to that later. So let's create a whole lot of templates so we could take better notes. List the main influences on firms making economical decisions. Let's just sort that up so I can make sure I'm accurate. Just take this here. Let me just take this right here. So it says here, let me just take this right down. We could use for referencing. So it says here, economical factors significantly impact business decision making by influencing cost, demand, competition, and overall market conditions. So some influences that firms could have or have that influence market or economical decisions is instances like competition. Because if a firm is making economical decisions, it will influence competition, it will influence decision making processes and such like. As I said before, we did look at scarcity or economics as a social science and such the like. So, anyways, we're cool. We close off right there. We did look at the nature full video of this after we finish the couple streams that hopefully that at the end of we will complete from the year 2020 to 2024, and we will cover off the entire syllabus at least at the end of this week. So stay in tune, guys. Stay in tune for future updates. The study prep guy is out. See you guys on a later video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and see you guys on the next video and the stream. So guys, hopefully you could stay in tune for the next video. I will be going live again for economical revisions. We will be working paper 2 2024 later tonight. What's up, chat? How is everyone doing? Study Prep Guy is here back with you today for a new brand video. Today we'll be continuing the last stream we did on Csec Office Administration. Hopefully everyone is all right. We'll wait 10 minutes for the chat to come alive. We're working the forest. We're only working the forest question for May, June. Only working the forest question for May, June. Hopefully the chat. Hopefully everyone is all right. Good vibes, everyone. Good vibes all around. Where are you today? Hopefully everyone is all right for this video. So I'll wait at least 10 minutes for the chat to liven up itself. I'll wait for you guys.
Unless you like, if you smoke, what you smoke, I got the haze. And if you're hungry,
Alright, chat. We are back again for the CSEC Study Prep Guide Marathon for May June 2025 preparations for the economics. We are back again. W's in the chat. All right, guys, let's start this paper. Will only be question one. I don't want to make this video extremely long. Subscribe. Tell me in the comments if you want a part two. In the comments, I did make a I did make a video for every other subject area, at least from what I teach for 2024 so far. I haven't worked the May June yet. Tell me, guys, how was the exam for 2024? How was the exam? How was it? You can tell me in the chat below, guys. So if you haven't watched the last live stream we did on the CSEC Marathon, we did look into the nature of business. We did recap a bit on some basic necessary terms that you need to know and stuff like that. So let's look at the instructions. We're reading the instruction, everyone. Hopefully you're with me. So it says this paper consists of 5 questions. Answer all questions, right? Your answer is in the space provided in the booklet. Do not write in the margins. It says you may use a silent non-programmable calculator to answer questions, but all necessary working should be clearly seen or shown. It says if you need to rewrite any answer and there is not enough space to do so on the original page, you must use the extra line pages provided at the back of this booklet. Remember to draw. If you use extra pages, you must write number clearly in the box provided at the top of the extra pages, and where relevant, include the question part beside the answer. We'll start in the live stream 10 minutes, so I could wait on you guys if anyone is interested. Background so far. Play Bruno Mars Smoking Through the Window.
Smoking Out the Window by Bruno Mars, Anderson Paak and Silk Sonic on Amazon Music.
Still wait for the chat. Still wait for you guys.
So tender, so sweet. And now she got me smoking out the window. You must have spent 35, 45,000. Got a badass kids running around. Gee, put me in the chair with X-Men and you have to see. Can't believe it. I'm in disbelief. This bitch got me paying for tips. Diamonds on the neck, diamonds on the wrist. And here I am.
Alright, guys, I'm coming back in a few minutes. You could check back. I will check back with you in the next 5 minutes, guys. I'm still waiting for you guys. I'll be back in the next 5 minutes.
The night she was gripping on me tight, screaming, "How can got me in the club looking for a new love?" So please, baby, why you doing this? Why you doing this to me, girl? Not to be dramatic, wanna die. This bitch got me paying on rent, paying for trips, diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist, and here I am all alone. I'm so cold. You gotta be smoking out the window of the Benzo. The Benzo. How good doing this? Alright. One thing to tell, I was wrong. Serve it Please both of your hands hold me, put them in anywhere you like. For tonight, I'll let you lead. You can be me, don't be nice. Sit down and be submissive, clean like you to be permissive, honestly. Don't take your focus off of me. I know you like the show, yeah, busting through my shirt, but in your picture. I know you love this down, yeah, perfect with these jeans, but in your bottom. Moving right back, just thinking that you're on my neck.
Welcome again back, chat. Let's start the speak without further ado. So I have waited long enough. These three factors of production mainly include land, labor, and capital. Pick up my notes. You take up the screen in a bigger proportion. So we're starting now, guys. No longer waiting. We're starting now. I just went and changed my short, so hopefully you guys can see that. I was wearing not a short, but I wear this one for now. Let's actually open up this thing now. So back with this here, let's go back to our notes. Factors of production include land, labor, and capital. Land, labor, and capital. I did make a video on this here, this same topic itself. I will put a video at the top here and explaining it a bit more. But for now, we're just working through the paper. So factors or factor production mainly include the instance of land, labor, and capital. So we have that right out of the way. Factor production, land, labor, capital. These three were your stated factors of production. So with the instance or rewards for factor production, let's put that right here. Rewards for the factors production. Land, it is rent because land is permanent. No one can't really own land in its literal sense because land is permanent, it's unchanging, it's always there. And we have capital. We have usually have interest as a means of capital in that case. And then we have labor. You have to, and the factor production or the reward for that is wages, because you have to pay wages to your laborers, obviously. So we have that out of the way. So describe the characteristic of each of the economy system given below in relation to the ownership of factory production and the role of government. I have to do a little bit of writing right here. And I don't really like to write on these 9 pages. I don't have a notepad pen, so I could literally just write it so you could see properly. But for now, we'll just use the notes to actually do that. Let me open up this a bit more. So they said for this question, describe the characteristic of each of the economy system given below in relation to the ownership and factories production and the role of governments. Economy. In a traditional economy, the owners of the factors of production are the private, and we did discuss this on our last video on public sectors, but it was described basically sectors in relation to ownership of factory production or role of government. The government usually 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 instills or implements certain bilateral. I think I spelled bilateral incorrect. Bilateral incentives such as quotas. So quotas, to explain quotas in like a simple sense, quotas is the amount of goods that you could bring into the economy. So if you bring in like 1 million tons, you can't really bring in 1 million tons of barrels of oil. So there's quotas. In such quotas and CET, that is the term. So CETs are basically tariffs on non-member states. We're just going through as I said before. So you could tell me that in the chat. Anyone in the chat understand CET? CET? Anyone understand CET? The term CET refers to common external tariff. Common external tariffs is the term for refer to CETs, such as tariffs and role of government, factors of production. Um, in a traditional economy, the peaceful coexistence of private and public monopolies, on public sectors is prevalent. So yes, that is it for traditional economies. Let's look at some of the other questions. Let's see, what long we been live? All right, so we're back with that. 15 minutes so far, 15 minutes. So we did answer the owner de facto production. That where's question 2 exactly? That's a lot of answers you have to put in. So we did discuss the traditional economy. Let's now look at the planned economy. The planned economy is also referred to as the authoritarian economy. Planned economy or the control economy. There's use the term control economy in a lot of cases. This is in relation to an economy where the government are the sole owners of the factors of production. And all economical ruling is under their ruling is under their branch. This is usually referred to as the planned economy is sometimes referred to as the worst economy because there is really nothing you could do in a planned economy. The government controls all the factors of production, and countries like North Korea, you can't really have a say in like goods and stuff like that. Everything is determined by the government. They usually call planned economies, let's call it term again, and that there's the opposite of democratic economies. They're what we consider to be like for example Zilla, we have other economies like China, communism. The people don't really have a say in what they want. These I don't really word because I know there are some of you living in planned economies out there, and I don't want to be offend any of my audiences because I respect all of you as individuals. I don't really want to go off that line, but you don't really have a say in the goods you get because the planned economy controls the goods that come into the country. They control what goods are sold in the country, etc., etc., etc. And most of the industries are public, meaning that they're state owned and state controlled. So we have plan out of the way. Increases. So as relation to the law of demand, as the price of a good and service goes up, demand decreases. Demand decreases. I just put demand decreases for now. Demand decreases. Effect on supply curve. Supply increases. Because you raise the price, you have more capital to actually purchase more goods. Consumers' preference for coconuts has increased. Effect on demand curve. Demand will increase. So yes, and demand supply will increase also. Supply will increase. Demand will increase, or what we consider to be a rightward shift. A rightward shift will occur. So effect on supply curve, supply will increase, or leftward or rightward shift also, or extension. So yes, we have all our points down. We did. Yes, that is it for those two answer. So effect on demand curve, demand will increase because people want it more now, or say that. Give me a second, guys. Yes, better. So if the demand for if consumers' preference for coconut has increased, that will likely increase the demand curve and cause a rightward shift. And because of more purchases, the supply curve will increase, or that will cause an extension of supply. Drought has affected the production of bread. Demand will be high. So demand will be high in this case. Demand for bread will be high due to scarcity. So yes, that's that for it. Effect on supply curve. Supply will decrease due to scarcity. So yes, that's the two answers for that. We did answer up to question one. We did have the initial answers right here. You could look back at the video on the traditional economy, the planned economy, or the controlled economy. It's not difficult. For section one so far, from working it, that was quite easy, guys. It was quite easy. It was quite easy from looking at the paper ones. So guys, we will close up the stream. This will be my final stream for the day. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, guys. I really do appreciate all the support. Let me just show you guys something quick. The study prep guy. If you look at our channel, we are closing into the 2 to 500 subscribers. We are reaching a new milestone where we're going into 1,000 subscribers. That has been a long-term goal for me as a YouTube creator over the last couple of months, and we are about to reach 500 subscribers, guys. Subscribe to the Study Group, guys. Chill Zone. Subscribe to the Study Group, guys. Csec. And guys, see you guys on a later date. Hopefully, I wish for all the Econ for this year. I wish all the best to all the students, and I encourage you to study more. I encourage you to watch my videos as I prepare you for Csec May June 2025 economics. See you guys on the later video. By the study prep guy himself. Today we'll be looking at the production possibility frontier. presented by no other than the study prep guy Csec. This will be a full course on economics. This is the third segment on the nature of economics for the Csec syllabus. So let's start. So, our learning objectives in this class is the definition of what is the production possibility frontier. That is inclusive of of what opportunity cost is, money cost is, the theory of supply and demand, and factors of supply and demand are the things that affect it. To say. So, first of all, let's look into the theory of choices and opportunity cost to begin with. So, let's look at our first batch of notes and then we will discuss. So first of all, opportunity cost is something called opportunity costs are created due to the economical problem of scarcity. And scarcity creates choices. And when we considered everything in place, um, opportunity cost is the next best choice or alternative foregone. I like to use the example. For example, if you're giving up bread for cheese, the opportunity cost is bread because you have given up bread in order to get cheese. You could not choose both bread and cheese. Since you have given up bread as a result, the opportunity in this, for instance, would be bread. Now let's look into the theory of supply. So this is the demand versus supply spectrum of the class. So the theory of demand states that as the price of a good or service goes up, the demand decreases because people don't want to spend a lot. And as the price of a good or service goes down, demand increases. So some factors that would affect demand is population. Is the population old? Is the population young? These little minute things affect the demand of certain goods and services. Because if you have an older population, they will most likely not be up to date with recent trends. And fashion and taste is a very important factor to come into place. You may have personal preference, you may want to have personal things, and it might just be that you don't like certain things that certain individuals like, or it could be something that is very fashionable, something that everyone wants, and that could make the demand of it go up. Government legislations, because for example on demerit goods like drugs, alcohol, and these demerit goods that are harmful to our health, the government might impose sanctions and legislations to prevent us from actually obtaining that, and that could decrease or increase depending on what policies they put in place of certain goods and services. When we think into technology, technology is one of the major factors or contributors to demand, right? And we'll talk about that later. But the three main factors or three main things that I would think that affect demand is population, government legislation, and fashion and taste. So let's look into the theory of supply, which is the opposite of the theory of demand. So while the theory of demand states that as the price of a good or service goes up, um demand decreases, and as the price goes down, demand increases. Is the exact opposite with the theory of supply. So the theory of supply states that as the price of a good or service increases, supply will increase. And as the price decreases, the supply will also decrease. Supply really works with monetary funding. So the higher the product, the more production that could take place. The lower the price of that product, the lower production that could take place. It's simple as that. So some of the factors that affect the supply or affect supply in an economy is approximate weather conditions, as in relation to some goods are better produced in a particular environment. For example, if you're producing lime juice and it's certain weather, the weather conditions are malleable and bad, that will affect supply. Government legislations against the merit goods, as I said before. Improvements in technology. Due to rapid improvements in technology that could increase the production process, allowing for more goods to be produced at a time. Prices of supply for the production process. if the joint goods that are needed to produce sorting goods and services are high, that will likely decrease the amount of goods produced. So that's some of the factors of supply. So this is an example of the production possibility frontier. And from this, I believe you will understand the opportunity cost and the production possibility frontier better. Sorry for the cough, guys. I'm a bit sick right now. So the constant opportunity cost, right? So something that I should really know. This is just repetition. Sorry for that. The thing that is given up for something else is the opportunity cost. We did discuss that in our last in the explanation from above. So in the graph, as you could see here, there are two products. They are guns and they are missiles. And the production possibility frontier shows the possible combination that could occur between two goods. Sorry for the cough right now, guys. I really do apologize for that. So when we compare guns and missiles, if you look at the graph, if you look at guns, we have 2,000, 1,500, 1,000. We see a deduction by 500 points. So we start off with 2,000 guns. But in order to produce 5 missiles, we had to give up 500 guns. So there's a deduction. So we have to give up something for something else. In this case, we have to give up 500 guns for 5 missiles. So the things that, so in this case, the 500 guns that we have given up is the opportunity cost. You guys get to me? So that is why the production possibility frontier is straight. So from this little example, I believe that you could have a more comprehensive understanding of what the production possibility frontier actually is. So hopefully everyone is all right with that, guys. Anyways, subscribe to the Study Prep Guys Chill Zone. The Study Prep Guys CSEC. I do have a lot of contact. I have my personal information on top there. We have Facebook groups. We have Patreon with by the Study Prep Guy. You could have my personal email to actually contact me, and you have my Discord, so you could join my Discord group um at a particular date. A new website. I created a new website right now, guys, to for materials, free materials. I will be doing free classes free of charge. You have to pay nothing, and in addition to that, I will be creating a website. We have all of these notes, and for studying for your own purposes. I will have documents with questions also, so that could educate you guys. Anyways, I wish you guys all the best. We'll be continuing down the lines in more detail. This will be a more detailed dive in comparison with the last video on the production possibility frontier part one. So, so the production possibility frontier, also known as the PPF, it's usually abbreviated as PPF. It's important for understanding some basic issues in economics, like the use of resources, which is the um, scarcity, because we have infinite wants versus limited resources, and that creates the economical problem of scarcity. So the description of the best possible combination of two goods produced using all the available resources, or the comparison or the total combination, that could be an incursion of goods and services, or it's basically the comparison of two services that could be incurred within the production possibility frontier. So an example of this, let me just skip. For example, we have the example of butter and guns, which is the comparison. So within the production possibility frontier, we consider that to be inefficient. So when it's within the production possibility frontier, we consider to that to be inefficient use of resources. This is something called the efficient curve, or the efficiency curve. There are different types of production possibility frontier. We did look at the constant production possibility frontier in the last video. So once it is within that line of segment, it is attainable. So as with the dotted line, as you could see with my mouse, that is unattainable resources, meaning that with the resources that we currently have, we don't have the potential to obtain that. So the marginal opportunity cost of guns in terms of butter is increasing as we move down the production possibility frontier. As you could see, when we move down the production possibility frontier, there's a marginal increase in the amount of guns supplied. But in order for guns to be supplied at a greater quantity, there needs to be a deduction in the quantity of butter. We are making more guns, but what's the spread on the English muffin, as I would like to say? The PPF is typically bowed out or linear. It is bowed in. So at so within the case of this, there are different production possibility frontiers. As I said, there is something called a reduction possibility frontier, production possibility frontier, and or the low scaling production possibility frontier, which is the worst case scenario. Right now, once we see it has this belly like shape, it's effective. But once it has a recessive shape, we consider that the inefficient use of resources, or like we call recession. So we're going to that just now. So let's go back down to the basic notes. So the opportunity cost of an activity is the value of the resources used in that activity when they are measured by what they would have produced when used in their next best alternative. We did discuss it in more basic terms. So, for example, if we use a resource to make potatoes, then we can't make any tractors. So the tractors in this case would be the opportunity cost. Our opportunity cost in this case is, I think I already answered that, that would be tractors. So the slope of production possibility frontier measures the marginal opportunity cost, which is the sacrifice that we have to make to increase the production process of producing one good in terms of the amount of other good are gone. So we did look at this graph. I did said that in order to produce more quantities of guns, we would have to give up a quantity of butter, and that quantity or that difference between what we have to give up is something called the marginalization or the difference in opportunity costs. So in this, for instance, this is figure one. This is our first actual figure. So we have the incursion of 1 million quantity of goods per period. So life save per period. So you have the comparison between goods per period and lives per period. In order to increase the production capacity of a life save per period, we had to give up 50,000 goods per period. That 50,000 is the same incursion that we see within all of these things. So in order to produce 8,500 goods per 2,000, or to save 2,000 or number of lives saved per period, we have the incursion of 2,000 here. And let me slow down a bit. So we have 2,000 here. In order to save 2,000 lives, we had to sacrifice a total of 100,000 goods per period in order to have 2,000 lives saved per period. That 1,000 is the marginal increase. So at point A, all resources are used for other goods. Moving from point A to point B requires shifting resources out of their other goods and into healthcare. At point F, all resources are used for healthcare. So at point F, all our available resources are used for the production of healthcare services. So hopefully you understand that. So we have increasing opportunity cost, which is according to the law of increasing opportunity cost. The more of something we produce, the greater the opportunity cost to produce even more of it. So in order to produce more of something, we would have to give up a lot of our necessary practical resources. As we see it in the diagram below, as we go down, there's a decrease in the amount of quantity of goods per period due to the fact of the increase in number of lives saved, and that creates marginal increase in the number of lives saved. But while it does that, it creates a marginal decrease in the goods per period. And that's what we mean by the greater the opportunity cost of producing even more of it. The principle applies to all society's production choices. And as I said before in the last video, choices without choices, the idea of opportunity cost would not exist. So we have something called recessions, and this is the economical stagnation of an economy. This could be include in increased unemployment, factory shutdown, land and capital are not being used effectively, or they're just not being used to begin. To end a recession, would move the economy from point inside its PPF to a point on its PPF. So using either resource to produce more goods and services without sacrificing anything can help us understand an otherwise confusing episode in U.S. economical history. There have been a recession in the U.S. in the early 1980s. I don't know. I can't say for exact, but that was a very sad time for at least in that territorial distinction. So this is the second figure, which is the employment or the unemployment rate, and we'll utilize the production possibility frontier to show that. So when we have this is something called the rightward shift or the extension of the production possibility frontier. So military goods per period, and we have civilian goods per period. So before the World War II, the United States operated inside its PPF, meaning that it had a recession. Then moved to the PPF during the war, both military and civilian production increased, leading back to an at the state of bliss of economical decentralization, meaning that it moved from recession to a state of economical prosperity. So that's something to note. So this is figure 3, the effects of new medical technology. And from that, we have the concept of equilibrium. I will look at equilibrium in a later video. So we have the quantity of all other goods per period with the average of 1 million with the reduction. If you so take that into account, we have a difference of 3,000 marginalization at least goods per period. So let's read, but it's not vertical intercept. Um, a technological advance in saving lives, increase production possibility, horizontal intercept from this diagram. What it's basically trying to tell you is that there are different factors that could cause a rightward shift of the production possibility frontier, such as new technology, right? If there is new technology in an economy, the production process will increase, and that will lead to more our ability to obtain more goods and more services for the economy as a whole. So yes, guys, that's everything for now, guys. See you to the next video. Subscribe to Study Prep, guys. CSEC. This is the full course in economics. This is on the section of the production possibility frontier.